The J15 Pro is Eureka's newest flagship robot vacuum/mop combo. This thing is jam-packed with features, but there are two that stand out that I've never seen in any other robot vacuum. The first one being that this thing has 16,200 PA of suction. That blows me away. I've never seen anything that powerful before, and something that we're going to be testing out later in this video. And the second thing is that this vacuum right here has built-in scissors. Yeah, you heard me right. Inside of the vacuum suction area are tiny little scissors that are going to cut up any hair that gets sucked up, so you're not going to get any of that tangling around there, which is totally cool to see. Now, before we start going through all the demos of what this vacuum can do, let's dive into some of the features that we can expect to get with this vacuum. But first, I want to thank Eureka for sending this product out and sponsoring today's video. Now, let's talk about what we're getting in this 8-in-1 base station that can deliver up to 75 days of hand-free maintenance. So right up here at the top, we have got the two storage bins. We've got one for clean water and one for dirty water. Now, right below that, if we pop off the front cover, that is going to give us access to this massive dust bag. Underneath that is going to be the tray where all of the features really come together for this base station. Inside of that tray, we have got clean water refilling that's going to go into the actual vacuum. We have got a dirty water drainage. Now, this is where it's going to take that dirty water in the tray after the mop pads have been cleaned and send it up into that dirty water tank. Now, inside of the tray here is where the vacuum is going to get its clean water, clean its mop pads, and then send that dirty water up to the dirty water tank. Once that is done, it actually has hot air that is going to be drying those mop pads. And it's going to be doing all of this with extremely high temperature. When it is washing those mop pads, it's going to be doing that at 75 degrees Celsius or 167 degrees Fahrenheit. And when it is drying those pads off, that is going to be at a temperature of 55 Celsius or 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this is going to be ideal for drying those mop pads off quicker, which is going to prevent mold and mildew. Now, with the actual vacuum, you're going to get physical buttons on the top, so you can hit that power icon to get this thing started, or the plug icon to have it sent back to the base station and charge up. If we lift up the lid, we're going to see the dust tray in there, which is where all the dust will get collected and then eventually put into the dust bag in the base station. And taking a look at the front of the device, we have the IntelliView 3D AI, which uses this high precision camera combined with a LiDAR sensor on the top of the device for advanced obstacle avoidance capability. Now, you can also use the app to view that camera as a security camera. You can then drive that vacuum around, checking out to see what's going on around your house. If we flip the vacuum over underneath, you can see a single brush that does extend into corners to help push dirt away from the walls and into the vacuum's suction. Now, this is where the magic of the 16,200 PA of suction happens. Inside here is an optimized roller brush to prevent hair from tangling on either ends of the brush. Now, underneath that brush is the patented Flexi razor blades that vibrate to cut away any tangled hair to then be sucked up into the vacuum. Now, below all of that, we have got the mop pads. The mop pad that is closest to the wall is on a flex arm that will extend it out to get close to the wall or furniture, which prevents the vacuum from getting too close and potentially damaging itself or the furniture. When mopping, the pads do have pressure applied to them to ensure an efficient clean. However, when this vacuum is going over rugs and carpet, the pads will actually lift up to prevent getting the carpet wet. All right, so now that we've gone over some of the features that this device offers, let's actually put it to the test and see how well it cleans things up. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to test out is the actual suction power of this vacuum. At 16,000 PA, let's see how well it can vacuum up. Now, I don't want it to just vacuum the carpet downstairs. I actually spread out a bunch of cat hair and other things that the other vacuum has collected just to give it a little bit more to suck up. And watching this vacuum do its thing, it did a great job. Everything got picked up and the carpet looks great. Now, the next thing that I wanted to test out is the fact that this thing can pick up dry and wet things at the same time. So it does have technology built in where when it detects something wet, it will actually stop the roller in the middle and sucking up the vacuum and just use the mop pads on the back. And once that's cleaned up, it'll go back to sucking things up. So I put some dry cereal crushed up next to some milk. Now, I forgot that I have two little furry animals that also want to eat all of this stuff, so had to chase them away. But here are where things get really cool with the AI features built into this vacuum. When it detects a dry mess, it actually slows the brush down on the side so it can sweep everything into the middle, cleaning it all up. It's going to go in a square pattern, and it's also going to be lifting the mop pads, so it's not using the mop pads at this time either. It's just sucking up all of that dried debris. Now, when it detects a wet mess, it's going to kind of do the opposite. It actually lifts up the vacuum brush underneath, so it's not going to be sucking up any of that wet debris. And to make sure the mop pads hit it first, it's actually going to drive itself backwards. So the first thing hitting that wet mess is actually going to be the mop pads. I thought this was an ingenious solution to not get that front rotating brush going through the mess and hitting the roller in the middle first. Once the mess is cleaned up, it lifts the mop pads again, so it's not dragging them on the floor, and returns to the base station to clean them off. Absolutely genius. Now, the last test that I did is I actually put 3 big coffee stains on the ground. I let them dry the entire day, and I wanted to see how well it would clean these up. Because honestly, cleaning up a coffee stain that is super dried out is not easy to do. Now, because this mop right here does not have onboard water, it does rely on going back to the base station to get its mop pads wet, and then coming back out and needing to do several runs over this dried area to be able to clean it up. So the intent of the mop pads on something that is as dried up as this is not to clean it up in one pass or even the first task. I actually ran this thing through on 3 different tasks to finally get everything cleaned up on this kind of extreme example of a dried up mess. All right, now I wanted to cover some of the features in the app. I've got the app loaded up here, and you can see all of my rooms that are all spread out. So we've got our dining room, kitchen, living room. Everything is actually labeled here, and you can go through and change the rooms of the layout or combine rooms, anything that you want to do. It's easily customizable in here. Now, down below the map right here, we have got the option for room. So I can just select a room at a time. Maybe I want to just select those 2 rooms to clean. Or I can go through and just do it by zone, where I can create a zone and just say, clean this area, which is something that I had done in my testing, which was pretty cool. We can also just click on full, and it'll just do the full clean. Now, down below that, you see where it says smart right next to the play button. If I click on here, up at the top, you can see we've got some options up here where I can do vacuum and mop, vacuum and then mop. And then we've got just mop, just vacuum, and then you can also customize it too. So those are some options right there. I like to keep it on smart to let the AI really manage how it is going to clean. We can also return it to the base station. We see it down below. And then I wanted to show you guys here the video patrol. So if I click on the camera right here, it's going to bring up a video control for us to take a look at. All right, so here we have the video on the screen, and we can control it in any direction that we want to. We've got buttons here for taking a picture, recording video. We've also got start patrolling, where it'll go through the house and actually take a look. And then we can see that we can send it back to recharge. So this is pretty cool because it allows us to have a camera that is movable and see what's going on around the house if we want to do that. The camera is also TÜV certified, adhering strictly to local privacy protection regulations. Now, don't worry, if you do bring up this video on here, it will announce it on the camera down there. So if anybody is home, it is going to be announced down there to indicate that a camera is being used. All right, if we go back into the settings, up in the very top right corner, we see the 3 dots. If I tap on there, that is going to bring us into the settings. We can set our schedules, look at the work log, view map management. We've got cleaning settings, voice settings, station settings, lots of different things on here. We've got AI cleaning butler. So let's go ahead and click on the station settings. In here, you can set your water temperatures, your mop washing frequency and how hot it's gonna be, how much self-cleaning frequency you're gonna do. So a lot of customization that you're going to be able to do here through the app. The AI Butler 2 will allow you to have all of these different options that you see, so you can really get customizable with the different settings in here. Now, typically when I'm reviewing devices like this, I like to call out their best case scenario. But for the first time ever, I think that the J15 Pro is ideal no matter what the scenario. Whether it's tile or hardwood floors with the downward pressure mop pads, or utilizing that 16,000 PA of suction and carpets and rugs, or a combination of both, this is an all-around great device. If this is something you'd be interested in, be sure to check out the description where I'll have a discount code for the holiday season. Now, even with this discount, the J15 Pro might still be out of your budget. And if that's the case, I recommend you checking out this video right here on the Eureka E20 Plus. It has an easy to empty Cyclone canister and no more disposable dust bags. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked it. As always, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.